我溢出的部分也终于有用了。
I've only really been asking for more outfits and character loadouts, but we're not getting either of those, so let's talk about what we're actually getting. We are getting level 100 and free constellations in a little gameplay system. Let's start with the level 100. Masterless Stellar Fortuna. Alright, so this is going to be the system through which we can get level 100. For every 5-star you get that's already at Constellation 6, you'll get a Masterless Stellar Fortuna. You can spend one of them to get to level 95, and you can spend another 2 after that to get to level 100. So it'll cost 3 of these materials to raise any unit from 90 to 100. You won't need to spend any more or anything. And you know, from the screens and from the stream we saw, as far as we know, it is only an increase to HP, attack, and defense. We don't know if it unlocks higher character talents yet, so we won't find that out until the patch goes live. For me, my only C6 standard is Kaching. I think I have her C7, so I'll get like one of these Masterless Stellar Fortuna drops when the patch goes live. And then my next closest is Chi-Chi. Here's my C5 Chi-Chi. So how do I feel about the system? I think the system sucks. I think the addition of level 100 feels really bad. Now, practically speaking, like on a practical basis, materially, nothing changes for like everyone, mostly. It may change scaling in dire Stygian Abyss, so difficulty 6, but like that's 0.01% of the player base or something, right? So practically speaking, it's not really going to affect anything. If you look at my battle records, I will say I'm probably part of the the 1% of the 0.1% that are affected by this, because I'm on the cusp of getting knocked out of being able to clear difficulty 6. Right, so I'm like 1/18 clears here, like plus 10% health, and that's gonna edge me out of being able to clear dire. Also, like I guess part-time whales that are on 60 seconds, like bordering the 1/82 clear for the final tier of the skin reward, they are probably also affected by the level 100 change. That could, you know, if they start balancing for level 100, that'll edge them out as well. You know, on top of the mechanics restrictions that they keep adding to these bosses. So, you know, that's my bias. I consider myself one of the people most affected by the introduction of level 100. But like the game's not changing. They're still making new areas. They're still putting out great music. They're still making flashy characters for people to form parasocial relationships with. So like none of that's really changing. It'll only just feel bad for like completionists, you know. It's gonna feel bad because for 5 years, leveling up has been a system freely available to everyone, and now they're kind of paywalling it for whales, which feels kind of bad because it's an extension, right? Like if they added, I don't know, C7, C8 for that purpose, like it would have been better received by me personally, rather than an increase in level, which just feels bad. So yeah, and now every time in the future, where if I come within 5 to 10% of clearing Stygian, even though it'll be like play skill issue and maybe just investment issue, like, oh, I could have a few more artifact substat rolls on certain characters, and instead of that there'll be another factor that I'll be like, oh well, maybe I could have cleared if HoYo hadn't decided to paywall leveling up from me, right? So that's where I'm coming from. That's my thoughts on level 100. I hate it personally. I don't like it. Let's move on to the free constellations. I'm sure this title sounds much better in Chinese because this is a bit of a mouthful in English. Whenever we have to talk about the system, it is the To Temper Thyself and Journey Far system. This lets us get a 5-star character for free. It's a 12-week cycle and there are 48 weeks for 4 characters, which is less than a year. So it's like 4 and a bit per year. What other characters that are available? Only the mid characters. And this is bad because this is kind of signposting that they're probably not going to buff these characters, right? They've decided to give us a selection of mostly only the bad characters. I think the standout picks are just like Shenhe, Nilou, and that's it. That's about it. You've got some other like low-level constellations that are like C1, C2 quality of life, which you've got like Baizhu, Deya, of course, maybe a bit of Ayaka. Yomi is just all trash. These are like pre-Fontaine units, but also not including Archons, and mysteriously missing are Kazuha, Yelan, and Alhaithor. There's intent, and then there's outcome, and the outcome is that this is kind of just whatever. And especially since they're adding an Imaginarium theater mode that increases the number of primos you can get, but also needs like 28 characters minimum. And you can't pick characters from here just to get. You can only get constellations, so you have to already own these characters. So it would have been nice if they could let us pick a character. Like, I would normally never pull for any of these characters, but you know, if it was offered for free, hey, I wouldn't mind adding maybe a Kokomi to my roster, because my Hydro selection is kind of weak. I wouldn't mind adding maybe a Baiju, some quality of life for something. I wouldn't mind adding a Ganyu or Shunhe to my roster. That'd be cool to have. But no, instead, we can't do that. Yeah, but I mean, this is just kind of on brand for HoYo to roll out an interesting system, but also make it as bad as they possibly can, right? It's just very sad to see. But let's talk about improvements, right? So I've been like looking at a bunch of threads. I've been talking to a bunch of different streamers, and honestly, like the casuals don't care. The casuals are just happy to get some free content. So there's no. Basically, what I'm saying, we're not going to see any pushback. We're not going to see enough pushback for HoYo to even change these systems. So let's just think about some minor changes that maybe people can get on board with to change these systems for the better. Like this system, I think, would be great if they could let us get the character. But outside of that, better than these 5-star cons, what would be better is if this was a system that gave us 4 stars and we could pick 4 stars. Because 4 stars are notoriously hard to roll for. So I think that'd be much more beneficial if there was maybe a separate system, maybe even the same system. Maybe just add the 4 stars to this thing and let us pick them as a character just to get. You could get 4 Faruzans per year, I guess, maybe. You know, even that's quite restrictive, isn't it? But that'd be nice. That'd be very, very good. We could expand our roster and everything. Circling back to the Masterless Stellar Fortuna, I think it would be good if they put the Masterless Stellar Fortuna in the glitter shop. For what price? I don't know. But if they could just put it in this shop here for maybe, I don't know, 100, 200, 500 glitter. What? I'm not sure about the price. If we're looking at these 4 stars, 34 glitter for a 4-star. And when you see 6 4-star pulls, on average, you'll get a C2 5-star by the time you get a C6 4-star, rolling like both from fresh. So how does that math out? Well, you need 238 glitter to like C6 a Xingqiu from the glitter shop. That's equivalent to 2 5-stars. So I think 1 5-star Masterless Stellar Fortuna should be about half of this, right? That tracks. So 119, I'll even round up, will be generous. 120, 150. I think that would be fair for a Masterless Stellar Fortuna. Those are the 2 changes that in my mind, the easiest changes, the slightest changes. Let us buy the new item with glitter. And then, you know, then our 4-star dupes will also contribute to the glitter, so it's not like they do nothing. Like currently, the system only encompasses 5 stars past C6. So we still get like pretty much kind of junk for pulling dupes of 4 stars, don't we? Maybe like let us contribute. Come on. So yeah, guys, I think these systems are like kind of an L, but they kind of change nothing as well. But that's no reason to not be dissatisfied and to not voice your dissatisfaction, right? Like, I know HoYo has got a big reputation of like not listening to any of the player suggestions. Like we still don't have loadouts, and they keep pushing their fake loadout system on us, and they just refuse to add a real loadout system, which is really outrageous, kind of frustrating. But if we just give up on voicing our dissatisfaction, it'll never get better. And you know, on the off chance they decide to listen, you know, maybe our suggestion will be right at the top. So put the item in the glitter shop. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it. Otherwise, you know, imagine this guy. If you don't push back, he's gonna keep rolling out these systems. He's gonna like power creep the hell out of the game while with a smile on his face. And in this timeline, there's no Mawika scheduled to come and just randomly save us. So we have to push back on our own. Okay. Okay, that was like a bit. That was a joke. Don't go and attack Aquarius or anything. But like that's only half a joke. Like you should push back. Okay, guys, push back. Come on, push back.
虽然鸡哥你嘴上说不是，但我觉得你这个不想赚钱的刻板印象是要坐实了。